And I'm Allison Kane.
And today we are talking about awkward moments.
Oh yeah, baby.
Like last week, so funny. If you missed the video on Awkward Moment Day, go back and see Alice's awkward moment.
Yeah, still makes me a little rosy around the cheeks when I think about it.
Which cheeks?
Yes, it's amazing how that lives in infamy in my brain. A little PTSD from it.
I mean, you might just need some extra awkward moments to take that one out of them.
I'm trying not to. Oh my gosh. You know, awkward moments, they all started with Adam and Eve.
Oh.
Of course, it always goes back to them. Everything was fine. Everybody was fine walking around the garden butt naked. No one cared. Nobody was embarrassed.
True.
They had to go eating that fruit from the tree, and then everybody was all awkward and shameful and stuff.
That's true. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be awkward with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we wouldn't care.
We wouldn't have dreams in the middle of the night where we wake up and we forgot our pants.
You know, I wonder, we probably wouldn't even care if, like, we had a little saggy boobs when we got older.
Right?
Or, you know, wrinkles and stuff. We just
Yeah.
wouldn't care, probably.
Yeah.
Dang it, Adam and Eve.
Man.
Oh, anyway, awkward moments. The Bible actually has a lot of awkward moments in it. More than more than one would think. You know, the Bible is pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, there's some crazy stuff in the Bible. Like, it's awkward to read it.
Yeah.
And I don't get skeeved out by much.
What if in, like, the Beatitudes, it said, "Blessed are the socially awkward, for they have good intentions, and they shall be made obvious and appreciated by all that they come in contact with."
Oh, they're obvious to all they come in contact with, just not appreciated.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't really talk about specifically how we should handle awkward moments, but we certainly get a view into how some of the biblical characters handle awkward moments.
Yeah, speaking of like awkward moments and biblical stuff, so my awkward moment, I realized halfway through a church service, well, it was actually a church morning of services, of which I was an employee, that I left bourbon in my diaper bag, and my diaper bag was in the nursery at church. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I'm not sure which. I'm having more. Like, should we go backwards and ask, like, why was there even bourbon in the diaper bag? How did that occur? And then the fact that it's, like, in your diaper bag in church, and if your kid had a bad diaper and the people had to go in it.
Oh, for sure they had to go in it, because he was there for all services on Sunday morning.
Did they say something to you?
So what happened? You see, what happened was...
What had happened was...
Now, rightfully so, the joke at church was like, oh, Melissa's the big bourbon drinker or whatever. You know, every church needs its project. I was our church's project. And I do like bourbon. It's really good. But I would not drink it at work or anything. However, one of my very proper employee friends that didn't drink, which was like maybe most of them, I don't know, needed a little bit of alcohol for a recipe they were making. Oh. And so they said, can you bring whatever kind of alcohol? I said, sure. So I put it in those little souffle cups that you get, like the takeout restaurant souffle cups. Yeah. Which probably looked worse, because now it looks like she's trying to hide something.
Her bourbon.
Or did the nursery worker think, oh my gosh, is this some kind of butt bomb? And my son has bourbon on his rear end. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But...
if they weren't praying for you before that, they probably were after that.
All I know is halfway through the morning, I was like, oh my gosh. Because I saw the employee, I'm like, your bourbon's in my diaper bag. The diaper bag is in the nursery. Yeah, and then I had to explain to my boss, you know, I started the text with, so how bad would it be if an employee had bourbon in their diaper bag that was in the nursery and found by said nursery attendant? Oh. Do we need to meet on Monday? Probably.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, I even forgot, and that employer, my boss, graciously reminded me once.
Oh.
I was like, oh, that happened. Whoops.
Oh, whoops. Some things we just forget. See, I probably have a ton of other awkward moments. I just have blocked them out because I can't handle it.
If you remember our awkward moments, we don't want to know about them.
Yes, please do not remind us. We're doing just fine.
Yeah.
Sort of.
But you can share yours.
Allegedly.
You can share yours, right?
You know, speaking of alcohol, there's a lot of that leads to awkward moments in the Bible. Like if you skim through Genesis 9, Noah gets drunk.
Right.
All, passed out, naked and stuff. Sun comes in, kind of makes it funny. Anyway, it's a good story.
So here's my question about that, because I was reading that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that so offensive that he got drunk and was laying there naked? Like, why was Noah so mad at his child? Because Noah got really mad.
Well, because his son went in and kind of helped put him in a position, I think, to kind of make it more.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
What translation is that in? I want that translation. Yeah. I want the TMI translation in the Bible.
He was mad. And then, more alcohol. Keep going. Genesis, the book of first is what I call it. Genesis 19. Lot's daughters, get him drunk.
Right.
And then,
I'm thinking
do
they
inappropriate things.
I'm thinking they had to get drunk to be able to do that with their dad.
Maybe everybody was drunk. So we can learn a lot of things about over drinking in the Bible. It's doesn't lead to good things.
No, and
embarrassment,
they do say, don't be
incest,
a drunk.
There's a reason.
It does say don't be a drunk.
That's right. Doesn't say don't drink.
Right.
Just don't be a drunk. And there's lots of good awkward stories in the Bible to back that up. Anyway, and what about, you talk about being called out by your boss or whatever, maybe for the bourbon or whatever, but what about Balaam in Numbers 22? He's riding his donkey down the road. It's one thing if a boss or your parent calls you out, but he's sitting on that donkey and he's beating that donkey because that donkey isn't moving. He's being real stubborn because there's an angel blocking the road.
I know this story so well, you have no idea.
Really?
Do you know why I know this story?
Wow.
Okay.
Because it's
fun little backstory to Melissa Bell. I had someone call and say, hey, will you speak for my event? This is how I became a speaker, because at that point, no, I don't want a microphone. I'll just cuss. I should be a rapper or something. I cuss a lot, right? And so I was kind of battling with God, and I was like, God, why would I be a speaker for this event, let alone for 3 sessions of the event? Okay, because I was originally set up for 1 session, which means you can screw that up and go home with a stomachache and never be seen from again. But then it became 3 sessions. So I was having it out with God, and I said, God, I don't even know what you expect from me. There are so many other people. And then what happens in Numbers 22?
The donkey speaks.
The donkey speaks. And I was like, that was in my devotion right after we had this conversation.
Wow. And
I was like, oh, okay. So you're calling me your Jack, See, I'm not going to say the word because I don't want you to have to edit me again. We got deemed inappropriate 2 weeks ago.
It's just a small cuss word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awkward. #awkward, sitting on the road and beating your donkey's sides to get him to keep moving. And then the donkey speaks up and he's like, hey, what is up, dude? Chill out. I'm not moving because there's an angel sitting in front of me. You just can't see it.
Right?
#awkward.
#awkward. And then
so many levels of awkward.
The donkey speaking
is crazy.
But actually in Shrek, it's really funny.
Oh my gosh, I love Donkey. Yeah. I love Donkey in Shrek.
And so I imagine he kind of talked like the donkey from Shrek when he said that.
I did, yeah. I love that. Good old Eddie Murphy. And then...
That just goes to show that God can use anything to speak to you, even an ass.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a technical word
for
an animal.
Yes.
Right. And
that's why I used it like that.
Even Jesus, he had some cool moments of awkwardness. What about at the Last Supper when he just straight up calls out Judas as his betrayer? How do you think Judas felt? They're having a big party. It'd be sitting around the table with all your besties, having a dinner party. And, and you get called out for, like, leaving a turd in the toilet or something. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot worse than that when you're betraying Jesus to the cross, but something really awkward and embarrassing.
So, but wait a minute. Define the moment where he really called him out.
Define it?
Yeah, like, tell me what that looked like. Isn't that where he said the one who, like, dips and eats or something?
I don't know. We'd have to look that up. I don't know it by heart. Y'all, I don't know scripture by memory.
She doesn't know that one by memory, but she knows a lot of my memory. But something about where he says the one who, like, dips his bread and something
it's
like that.
It's in John 13. We'll have to research that and stick it out there.
But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking at this point, to be doing what he's getting ready to do, he was so far gone that he would not have even noticed that.
Which one?
Judas. Would not have even noticed that. He was probably thinking...
But I'm sure the others picked it up. And I'm sure they thought it was awkward.
Yeah, but Judas was too stupid to even realize. He was too far gone and realized it was an awkward moment. Have you ever been there?
Yeah. Oh, yes. And then later you realize it and you're like, oh, snap. Judas was like,
oh, he did know it was me.
Oh, yeah. Dang.
Judas was probably thinking, sucker, he don't even know.
Maybe.
I mean,
we should go back and I'm going to go back and, like, really study that. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And see when it might be awkward. Or what about, I love this one. What's this one? This is in Mark 11. I did a whole blog on this. Where Jesus, I called it hangry. Because sometimes we all have hangry moments. And I think Jesus kind of had a hangry moment when he's walking through and he's hungry. You know, he's going between town to town. He's been speaking. Everybody's pulling at him. And he walks by this fig tree. Okay, granted, it's not even fig season. Okay, figs weren't in season. But Jesus really gets mad at this fig tree.
I think that is so funny, too. I just
and, like, curses it.
Yeah.
He's like, fine. Basically, you suck, and you're never going to bear fruit again.
And it shrivels up and dies. Yeah. Imagine if all the things that we said when we were hangry came true immediately.
Oh. Oh. Snap. Awkward. That would not be good.
That kind of reminds me of the movie.
Thank goodness we're not. We do not have that power.
Yes, thank you, Jesus. You knew what you were doing, apparently.
I don't know why we're always surprised at that.
Right. Thankfully, that's not one of the powers of the Holy Spirit.
Like, I kind of think about the disciples in that position where they like, we've never seen him act like this before. What's going on? Or were they like, oh, that's a really great side of you, Jesus. It makes us feel really much better about ourselves.
I'm feeling that way because you know what? When I get in a rage, I think, Jesus flipped some tables?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
For the right reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to add that part, don't you? For the right reasons.
Yeah, you can't be all like, that's right.
For the right reasons.
For the right reasons.
Oh, I need you for my accountability partner. Hey, here's the deal. I think we're going to have to die real close together when we're much, much older because otherwise one of us is going to be unleashed and it's probably going to be me and that would be bad.
Well,
at least I should die first.
We could share a nursing room home together maybe. Oh, let's not go to the nursing home.
No.
Let's do something else. Beach cottage with a nurse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or do we really need a nurse? As long as we just drink but don't get drunk, we're fine.
There you go. There you go.
We'll be somewhere on a beach, sipping something strong.
Oh, awkward moments.
Yeah.
I love how when God also goes back and tells Jeremiah to go and, do his thing, be his prophet. And Jeremiah is thinking, dude, you got the wrong guy. Like, I'm just this awkward. He was thinking that. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just this socially awkward person that's put my foot in my mouth so many times. Like, you can certainly find a better messenger.
I mean, like, the message that he had Jeremiah give people.
Yeah.
They were gloom and doom. That's awkward. Wasn't all of his messages? All of his messages were gloom and doom.
They were pretty bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of Jeremiah.
Yes.
Ooh.
He was a bullfrog. He was a good friend of mine. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead.
No. It makes me think of what's coming up in April.
Oh, yeah. Not the bullfrog.
No bullfrogs. Although I think that's a plague. That was probably awkward too when he was jumping in, frogs and things and whatever. Yeah. Locusts were like jumping all around in your soup and in your hair trying to kiss your boyfriend. Awkward. So we can keep taking this awkward route all the way through the Bible.
Yeah, we can.
Jeremiah. Yeah, Jeremiah. So we have something really exciting coming up in April.
What? Yeah, we do. I do remember now. Yes. Thanks for getting me on track. Here I am.
Starting first, we're going to start plugging this soon, but we are going to do a 6-week online Bible study. It's going to be in the evenings, Tuesday evenings. More information to come. Teaming up with Restored for Moms. And we're going to work through the book of Jeremiah. It's not necessarily a Bible study, but we'll be focusing on reflections and lessons learned through the book of Jeremiah. And then along with the Bible study, we will have other Jeremiah topics going on in the podcast during the week.
Yes, and the good news is our girl Allison wrote that. She's going to be all humble and not tell you, but she did write the study. I actually took a look at it last month. It is so good. But nothing is complete without my take on stuff. So I will join you.
Totally.
And we will have great conversations.
It's going to be fun. And if we can do it from different locations and traveling and all that, that is one of the benefits of online, even though I really prefer to be in person.
Which, hopefully, we're going to have one of those coming up soon, too.
Yes.
In May.
Stay tuned for that, too.
Stay tuned.
But that was a cool plug from Jeremiah. I don't know. Maybe that's why he popped in my mind, because I've been
it's not in your notes?
Well,
I can't even read your notes. I don't have my glasses on. I have no idea what your page says.
I started thinking about Jeremiah, but he has been on my mind a lot.
Yeah, so, if we're just going to start traveling through the awkward moments of the Bible, how about... what was it like to be Jonah?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's me. That was me.
Seriously, you wouldn't want to be that guy at the dinner party.
Don't be that guy. No.
Oh, well, so tell us about your time in the belly of the fish. What were the smells like?
Yeah, we didn't just see you coming, son. We smelled you coming.
I guess until this moment, this is what has been so fun about going through this month and focusing on, I don't even remember how we came up with this idea about the National Day of whatever.
It started with alcohol. I was talking about bartending and how I love to have a reason to celebrate every day and have everyone buy a shot.
Oh, gotcha.
And I said, there's a reason to celebrate every day. And we started looking at the calendar and cracking up.
I knew that we could make that work.
Baked Alaska Day, but we don't need to revisit that. We already saw that mayhem play out.
Well, this is what I love. I mean, if you're really looking, you can find Jesus and the Word everywhere, even in National Day of Awkward Moments.
So
or National...
I think that's a special talent of yours. You would have to get the ball rolling. But then we can all jump on.
Okay, I have honed this in.
You have done amazing.
I had to do that years ago for survival. But, and so now I guess you're right. I just love how, and it's so funny how taking this awkward moments and then kind of thinking that through when I had no idea what we would talk about, I began to see just as Jesus is woven through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, so is awkwardness.
Yeah.
And I think we forget that sometimes. I think that we forget when Jesus has called us to do something, or the Lord is tugging at our hearts to step up and do something. It's like, wrong person. I can't do that. I'm real awkward. I don't know what to say. I don't have enough education. I'm not good enough for that. We forget how awkward pretty much everybody in the Bible had a super awkward moment.
How about we just forget how everybody else is awkward?
There's that. We just focus on ourselves.
Right, which leads us back to last week's podcast, right? Where we basically said, hey, if you realize how little everyone else was thinking about you,
right,
you wouldn't worry about what they thought.
Right. A little less comparison.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of combined comparison and comparing into one word there. Did you notice that?
Well done.
Oh,
Well done.
thanks.
I'm not gonna grammar edit
I
that.
do love to make up my own words.
I know you do.
Yeah.
But you know what you haven't said all year?
Wiggy wiggy.
Oh no, you've said that.
Oh, okay. When something kind of creeps me out or makes me nervous, it gives me the wiggy wiggies. I'd made that word up.
I won't tell you what I say. There's normally an expletive somewhere in there. But you haven't said word in like forever. Like you brought it back and then just dropped it off.
Oh, I do drop it in social media.
Okay.
I do drop it there. But word,
Yeah.
I've seen that some people are bringing it back too, though. So I'm trying to kind of
it's not
step
some
back
people,
and
it
let
was you.
others like continue now.
Well, you know what they say, the best form of flattery.
No. Yeah, I don't think that many people are doing it.
Oh. Just go with that story. You're not even on social media. How do you know?
No, exactly. Hey, we have really enjoyed talking about awkward moments today, and I hope you'll go back and dig through some of those stories that we brought up that are in the Bible if you haven't heard of them before, and just kind of read through those and discover some of those really good awkward moments in the Bible, and we'd love to hear your awkward moment.
Yes, please. Like send a video or I don't know. We love stories. We like to laugh, which was actually, Let's Laugh Day.
Yeah, did y'all know that like Christians actually can laugh and have fun?
They can. Shh, don't tell your pastor. They probably don't know that. That'll be our little secret between us and you.
Loving Jesus is so fun and so freeing. It's hard as nails sometimes too, but it sure is fun. And brings a lot of joy. We hope y'all are feeling that today, and we look forward to being with you next week on The Sinner and the Saint.
See you later.